Hello, everyone. My name is Ania Kaliska, and I am Research Ops at Allegro, the biggest European marketplace. Today, I would like to share with you some thoughts about research operations and its impact on organizations operating in a fast-paced agile environment. But before we dive into research ops, I would like to shed more light on Allegro and our story with the research ops. So Allegro is all Poles' favorite marketplace. In 22 years history, from the beginning, Allegro is focusing mainly on the customer experience, including the best prices, widest selection, and incomparable shopping convenience. Each month, 22 million of users shop at Allegro. There are over 130,000 sellers who offer 250 million offers, and that's quite a lot, I think. The reason I talk about these numbers is that they symbolize how we focus on UX in our business, almost since the beginning of Allegro. Support of our customers participating in research and giving us constant feedback led us to be the top most recognizable commercial internet brand in Poland. And I would say that we are like Adidas for sports shoes or Pampers for diapers, the synonym for shopping online in Poland. So now I would like to introduce you to how the UX team looks in Allegro and why we decided we need research operations. As I spoke before, we really care about our customers' voices, and that's why Allegro started focusing on UX and research early on. First, UX research professionals joined Allegro over 12 years ago, and through those more than 12 years of UX department being created, our team grew from 5 to more than 130 design and research experts. So we started small, with the roles being defined as UX generalists, usability testers, and as the Allegro grew, our team also had to follow up. So in terms of that, we also have now, I think I can say that with the full liability, the biggest UX research team in Poland, and we are still growing. So we are at the point where the data drives our business, and research became the fundamental piece in design process. In terms of such a big team, the numbers of projects is even bigger because each quarter our research team conducts at least 100 research projects. So that's literally big number. And as you see now, the scope of our work was the one that showed us the only best solution, research operations. And this is where I, as a research ops, kick in. So as a big team, we needed someone who will take care of people, processes, and tools. And I was given the opportunity to pick up the gauntlet and support Allegro's UX research team to become more agile, flexible, and first of all, more effective in research. So what is the research ops, you may ask? I think that the best describes it, the following definition by Kate Townsend, one of the creators of research ops community and one of the biggest contributors in it. So the idea of research ops focuses on the people, mechanisms, and strategies that support the visibility of the research across the design process. It supports the research teams in the research delivery, providing effective tools and processes, scaling research impact across the organization, and also in terms of research evangelization and democratization. So probably most of you now ask yourself, okay, what's the difference? What's the deal? And why we should care? Unfortunately, research is sometimes the most underestimated element of the design process and the part that we tend not to care as much as we should. But as we all know, UX is nothing without user research. And it takes a lot of time to do the research. It costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of resources and sometimes can turn the design upside down. But the smaller the business is, the biggest temptations are to believe that we know all about the users based on our own assumptions. But that's the one-way ticket. So working in UX for a few years now showed me that it changed. Companies turn to the research as a fundamental piece of the design process while designing services and products. But getting back to the research ops, to give you a short introduction to this concept, I would like to get back to 2018, where the group of UX researchers carried out a series of workshops to systemize the research positions in the design process. So the community, now called Research Ops Community, created a map of the research activities that support design at all stages. And this map created by the team of experts was to define whether, when, and where in the design process operations connected to the research could make the design process more efficient. So key components of the map focus on budget management, and we could summarize it as a supporting organization in financial resources allocation and research budget optimizations. Tools that are, I think, one of the most important assets in terms of research operations and optimization. Research Ops focuses on helping find the right tools, support researchers in effective delivery of research findings at any term generally. So asset management is defined as all of the tasks connected to the raw data storage. So it's security and findability. This one is the fun part of the research ops job. So internal communication is focusing on research socializing and evangelization. It also contains all of the activities connected to the reporting part, so the fundamental research deliverable. This one is strictly bounded with the previous one. So knowledge management makes research finding visible across organization and support researchers in their work in terms of reporting insights. Good guidelines and templates make research more approachable. So this part makes the researcher's job repeatable for researchers who can focus on the content and not the structure of the research reports, and for the product team, all of its members who knows what to expect from the research findings and these artifacts. Simply, it's all about making research knowledge more consumable. Research Ops is also responsible for knowledge sharing internally and development of the research team members. So this component focuses mostly on researchers' development, finding the right trainings, creating development opportunities for research team members. This all gets research team in motion. And the team can do better, so bonding is also a strong part of the research ops job. And this role, in my opinion, should focus primarily on people. So in any case, if it's about onboarding new members of the team and celebrating small or big successes of the team, celebrating birthdays, that's all also research ops job. Research ops is also responsible for all of the company and team events that involve research team. To organize them, find the space and right time for each member to have the ability to attend is also a thing for the research ops. And the next one is governance, in my opinion, one of the crucial parts of the research ops job. So assuring the data is protected, every part of the research project is conducted aligned with the law and internal regulations is really important. So as well as research ethics and privacy. And the governance is strongly connected with the participants' recruitment. So making this process simple yet efficient is crucial for seamless research conducting. No matter if research ops job is to recruit participants or just to focus on the process and conditions of the recruitment done by the researchers themselves, detailed approach recruitment and incentives for participants is fundamental for the research success. And also research spaces are all about creating a supporting environment for research. Nowadays, after COVID, most of research is done online, but in fact, the labs or meeting rooms are still a thing, and that's also part of the research ops job. So as you see now, research ops is a complex concept, yet it's rewarding to implement, and it supports research process end to end and gets researchers to focus on what they have to do. So just doing research, cutting off all of the distractors and making the processes smoother. And in the end, research ops supports the full design process. As you know, each of the following stages of the product and service design and takes the research deliverables as the base for further actions. And making it simpler and quicker to do the research optimizes the design process itself. So in my opinion, the UX activities taught by Nielsen Norman Group summarize how companies should approach the design process and why we should focus on making research more accessible and optimized. So now getting back to our Allegro approach, how to implement research ops in a well-stated UX team of over 130 people. So we decided to take a closer look to the current place of the research in the design process in Allegro. And as you know now, our business is complex and our team is enormously big. So we got to the point when we needed to adjust and synchronize the flows of designers and researchers. And we knew that there were some gaps that hold us back sometimes. And guess what? It took us a lot of thinking. So we decided to dive deep into the research ops map and create our own approach to organizing research operations. So we decided to simplify it and adjust research ops in Allegro to our current needs. By this, we mean we specified 4 areas we'd like to focus. And in terms of that, I was lucky to work closely with my manager, Alina Magowska, who was, by the way, last year UX DX speaker. And together with Alina, we started building research operations in Allegro based on our key value, people. So there is no coincidence we decided to focus mainly on the team because this is the center and the heartbeat of our organization. On top of the happy researchers, we put the tools and processes to allow us to effectively do the research. After that, we focus on sharing the research deliverables. We want them to be visible and accessible across the organization. And later on, I will also say a few words about the metrics. And last but not least, research evangelization. That's the key to correct understanding of the value of the research, the insights across the organization. And so as a research ops, I am also responsible for supporting research visibility and impact on the company. So to be more specific, I will share some top-of-mind conclusions of our research ops process and how we set it up. So as I said before, people are the center of our process. In this case, we focus not only on the team composition, the role definition, but also on building a strong brand of UX researchers across Allegro. This also supports, of course, research evangelization. And the core of this area is to create a supportive environment for researchers, inspire them, and give them space for self-development. Because we know that what value the most is the opportunity to grow in the role. Processes and tools are the core to getting work done effectively. So this area focuses not only in developing or optimization of the process in terms of the UX research team, because we know that we are as a part of the big picture product teams. And our main aim here is to synchronize the research process with the needs of other product team members. So focusing on research, being involved in each phase of design, this means that we are more efficient. Of course, providing the tools that make the research process smoother is also a big point here. Research findings are a crucial part of the work of every researcher. As I like to say, I do not believe in a good products being developed without the proper research. But the knowledge of and the distribution of it across the organization, in many cases, is the Achilles heel. So research ops job is to make researchers' work visible across the organization, which means also supporting knowledge distribution, for example, by preparing useful knowledge bases, insight repos, or any kind of other resources that help spread the word about the research findings. And last but not least, it's also about measuring efficiency. And research process KPIs help us focus on what's most important and discover the weak point we should care about the most in the following weeks and months. So as you may notice, we strongly believe in the fundamental role of the research, and our aim is to encourage people to become a part of it. So research ops jobs is also to engage others in research by giving them guidance, tools, educating them, and supporting them at any stage. We strongly believe that the research ops job is also saying no when we go too far, and we want to do the research when we just should make an expert decision. So in my opinion, it's also an expression of care about the people and resources we have. So heading to wrapping up, you may ask, is it really worth to set up research operations in the company? So the main goal of ops is to appropriate resources allocation where and when needed, so we can measure success. How can we do it? By setting up KPIs. In that case of the role, I prefer to measure my work by 3 components: and time, cost, and satisfaction. And these elements help me to understand, do I go in a good direction? And as you may know, there are a lot of KPIs you can think of in terms of measuring UX research ops job. Improving response rate, optimization of costs and budgets, employee retention rate in UX research team. So anything you can think of that connects with the heartbeat of this concept. So to wrap up, research ops is an interdisciplinary role that supports team in making research more accessible and fun, and someone who cares about the people, their development, and the work environment, and also care about the resources and their optimization. Hope you found my talk inspiring. Thank you very much.